Welcome to the Nourish to Thrive podcast, faith-forward, science-backed strategies for women who want more energy, less weight, and real answers. I'm your host, Tanya Pennington-Miller, a functional nutritional therapy practitioner and functional blood chemistry specialist with a master's degree in applied clinical nutrition. If you're tired of feeling dismissed by your doctor, confused by your labs, and stuck in survival mode, you're in the right place. Here, we simplify the science. We get to the root, and we anchor it all in truth, because God made your body to heal and thrive, not just survive. It just needs the right kind of support and less noise. Before we dive in, I just want to say this. You are in the right place, especially if you've been doing everything right and you just still are not feeling like yourself. If you've ever tracked every bite, you've cut calories, you've skipped meals, you've worked out 5 days a week, maybe 6 days a week, and still wondered why the scale isn't moving, this episode today is going to explain why. Because the calories in, calories out model that so many of us were taught, it's not just outdated, it's literally keeping us stuck, it's keeping us frustrated, and it keeps us in this place of feeling like it's our fault. And I am here to tell you it is not. We're talking about this belief that weight loss is just about calories in and calories out. That if you're not losing weight, it must mean that you're either eating too much, you are not working out hard enough, or you're just not disciplined enough. Because eat less plus move more equals lose weight, right? And I want to lovingly but firmly tell you that it's not true. And if you've been carrying any kind of guilt or shame around your body, around your appetite, or just your lack of results, this episode is going to free you. Okay, because here's the reality, and I want you to hear this clearly. You are not a calculator. You are more like a thermostat, okay? Your body adjusts, it adapts, and it protects itself based on so much more than just food intake. Okay, a calculator crunches numbers. 1 plus 1 equals 2. 1 minus 1 equals 0. Okay, but a thermostat adapts to its environment. Okay, it senses stress, it senses sleep, hormone shifts, nutrient intake, and it makes adjustments to keep you alive. So when your body holds on to weight in a stressful season, this is not failure. This is actually feedback. Okay, your body is not ignoring your efforts. It's literally responding to your circumstances. Now, I think a lot of times, like as we're going through a stressful situation, we tend to lose weight sometimes. But once we've come out of that stressful situation and we think, okay, I haven't been eating how I know I should, I haven't been moving like I know I should, I'm going to get started on all of this. And like, bam, we're just like at this wall, not getting results. And this is literally just like this residual result from this chronic stress season that we've been in. So if your body senses a threat, and what could a threat be? This is something like maybe we're getting too little of food because maybe we went through this stressful season and we weren't eating enough. Okay. Simply just by having too much stress. And this could be good stress or bad stress. This threat could be rapid weight loss. Maybe we've kind of like been on this kick and we have been losing weight. But the body doesn't just keep burning fuel like a machine because you have less calories coming in than going out. Your body responds, it adapts, it protects you. Okay. This is why when you cut calories too low, or again, you lose weight too quickly, your body can respond by slowing down your metabolism. It will literally increase your hunger hormones to encourage you to eat more so that you can store more fat. This is not simply just, I don't know why I'm so hungry. This is a physiological thing that is happening inside. These are all built-in protective mechanisms by God to keep us alive. So these are actually good things. So this isn't happening because we're broken, because we're in perimenopause and nothing's functioning properly anymore. It's literally because our body is trying to bring us back to what it sees as a safe set point. We know how our thermostats work. If we have the air set to 70 and it gets up to 71 in the house, the air is going to kick on to bring it back down to 70, right? Our bodies are doing the same thing. It's like your body saying, hey, we're dropping too fast. Let's turn the dial up to get back to stability. And don't get me wrong, it can be frustrating, okay? So if you've ever lost weight and then you've regained it back, that is not failure of willpower. That's literally your thermostat doing its job. And understanding this very thing changes everything. Because now you're not fighting your body. You're finally learning how to work with it. And that's exactly what I'm here to help you do, step by step, in a way that feels doable, is grace-filled, and it's rooted in truth. Okay? For decades, we've been taught that weight loss is a math equation. Again, eat less plus move more equals lose weight. Our doctors still tell us this. Now, if we were machines, that would make sense, but we're not. We are not calculators. We are not spreadsheets. Okay? We are complex, living, adaptive human beings with nervous systems, with hormones, and stress loads that all influence what our body does with food. Okay, because here's a reality. Your body isn't just tracking calories, it's tracking safety. Okay, and this becomes especially important for us ladies over 35, because that's when hormonal shifts really begin to happen. And these hormonal shifts can affect fat storage, they can affect hunger, and our stress response. Okay, so once we hit 35, somewhere around here, we often see that progesterone starts to drop. And this happens years before menopause. Okay, this is usually kind of our first sign that we're entering perimenopause. And this drop in progesterone makes us more sensitive to stress. It makes us more prone to anxiety and more likely to hold on to weight. Guess where? Mainly around the midsection, the belly, boo. Okay. During this time, estrogen can also start to become unpredictable. So sometimes we might see that it swings too high or that it drops too low. And this impacts everything from how we store fat to how hungry we feel and to how our body processes carbohydrates. Okay. Another hormonal shift is with leptin. This is the hormone that signals fullness. Okay. This can actually become less effective, especially if we've been under eating or if we've been yo-yo dieting or we haven't been sleeping well. Okay. This translates to us feeling hungrier even when we're eating enough. So again, not willpower. This is something physiologically inside of our body that is happening. Okay. So chronic stress elevates cortisol, which sends a message to our body. Hey, hold on to fat. Slow everything down. Right? We might be in danger. And I want to be clear here too. Cortisol is not inherently bad. It's actually a survival hormone. Like we need it to survive, to stay alive. The problem arises when it's elevated for too long. It makes fat loss so much harder, even in a calorie deficit. And maybe even more so when we're in a calorie deficit. Okay. And the more chronically stressed we are, the harder it becomes to regulate that cortisol. It spikes higher, it stays longer, and it becomes harder to calm, especially when we're in perimenopause. So also nutrient deficiencies. Nutrient deficiencies can actually drive weight gain. Okay. A lot of women think the answer is to eat less, but here's what most people don't realize. You can be eating fewer calories and still gaining weight. This is because your body isn't getting enough of the nutrients it needs to function well. So if we aren't getting enough amino acids from protein to build muscle and detox estrogen, this is going to affect our ability to lose weight. If we're not getting magnesium and B vitamins to calm our nervous system and support energy production, this is going to affect our metabolism. Not getting enough omega 3s to reduce inflammation, we're going to see this as the scale increasing, as our inflammation increases. We need enough zinc and iodine for healthy hormone conversion and production and for our immune regulation. So if our body isn't getting these consistently, it can respond by increasing hunger, right? Like, let's make you hungry so that hopefully you'll eat some more of these nutrients. It's going to slow your metabolism. We're going to hold on to fat more. This is all a survival mechanism. Your body missing what it actually needs, the result of this may be increasing weight. Okay. So if we're under chronic stress, whether it's emotional, it's physical, if it's stress from undereating, our body is going to adapt by slowing down our metabolism. Okay. Not because it's broken, but because it's smart. And we so often think that we can outsmart our bodies. Our bodies are smarter than we are. Okay. This is why I focus so much on nutrient density over calorie counting in all of my programs. Okay. When we're experiencing these hormonal shifts, again, after 35, and as we're kind of starting to enter that perimenopausal phase, sleep can also become disrupted. Okay. This might be from cortisol spiking at night. It might be from blood sugar crashing or just hormone fluctuations waking us up at 3 a.m. Okay. Poor sleep affects everything. Appetite, our cravings. Have you noticed that? When you don't sleep very well at night, you tend to be a little bit more hungry the next day. We're going to store more fat. Even just our ability to make rational food decisions the next day. I mean, I know I noticed this in myself. And I noticed this a lot when we, have to get up for an early, airplane flight. And I don't know, we usually tend to book flights for early in the morning. And so we have to, get out of bed at just way too early of an hour. So we don't get as much sleep that night, right? Because we're up late packing. I will be so hungry, like early in the morning, way earlier than I normally am. And it's because this lack of sleep. Okay. We also see after 35 that we have this, we start to have this decline in muscle mass. Okay. Especially if we aren't strength training or again, getting enough protein. Okay. And since muscle mass is one of the most metabolically active tissues that we have, less muscle means fewer calories burned, even at rest. Okay. If we can add a pound of muscle to our frame, we're going to burn an extra 50 calories a day just because we have that extra pound of muscle. Okay. So, and the reverse is also true, right? We lose a pound of muscle, we're burning 50 less calories per day. So weight training, incredibly important for women. Okay. So again, if you're under chronic stress, whether that's emotional, whether it's physical, whether it's overtraining, stress from eating too few calories, which your doctor may have told you to do in order to lose weight, your body will adapt by slowing down your metabolism. Not fair, I know, but it's just the truth. So cutting calories, adding more cardio, pushing harder, It is not going to get your body to respond, at least not the response you're looking for. Okay. So again, this is not failure. This is actually protection. Okay. I need you to hear this. This is all of this is not about willpower. It's not about white knuckling. It's about the feedback that your body is trying to give you. Your body is trying to tell you something. Okay. So we need to shift from restriction to restoration with strategy. Okay. From chasing calories to supporting our body in a way that actually works. So what I want to do today is I want to give you 5 simple but very powerful and tangible shifts that you can make right now, starting today, to start healing your metabolism and supporting fat loss in a way that honors your body and honors your hormones. Okay, so instead of fighting your body, let's look at what it would look like to support your body in order to get the results that you are wanting. So this first one starts with breakfast. Let's make sure that you are starting your day with protein and fat. Let's hold off on the carbohydrates for now. I want you to think eggs, avocado. I love eating for breakfast like steak from the night before. So, I'm not necessarily having to cook in the morning, just reheating my steak, maybe some eggs, avocado on the side of that. I want you to do this instead of toast. And I don't care like how healthy you think the toast is that you have, but instead of toast and fruit. Okay, this is going to set the tone for blood sugar stability. We're actually going to touch on blood sugar stability next week. Blood sugar stability is what sets the tone for your energy, your cravings, and your hormone balance. Okay, this might sound very small, but it's incredibly foundational. When you eat carbs first thing in the morning, especially, fruit, toast, cereal, smoothies, or even oatmeal, do not get me started on oatmeal. Okay, that's a whole other show. Your blood sugar will spike early and it sets off a cascade for your day. Okay, you get a quick energy boost, but it's going to be followed by an even quicker crash. And that crash triggers cortisol, cravings, irritability, and just more hunger later in the day. Okay, so when you start your day with protein and a healthy fat, cook your eggs in butter, eat some uncured bacon. Okay, you're going to send your body a very different message. You're telling your nervous system, we're safe, we're fed, we're stable. Okay, that stability impacts everything from your cortisol to your thyroid to your insulin levels. It's one of the easiest ways to start healing your metabolism without restriction. Okay, number 2, super easy. Okay, I want you to start taking a 10-minute walk after dinner. Not because we're trying to burn off dinner. Okay, we're trying to support insulin sensitivity. We want to help your blood sugar come down naturally before bed. Okay, this one shift can support your sleep, can reduce inflammation, and will boost your fat loss over time. It's fascinating how quickly just a 10-minute walk can stabilize your blood sugar levels. If you were to test your blood sugars after eating and then after taking that 10-minute walk, drastic difference. Okay, you don't need a gym membership even to improve your metabolism. Okay, one of the most powerful things that you can do for your blood sugar, for your sleep, for your belly fat, literally a simple walk after your last meal of the day. This movement after meals is going to pull glucose out of your bloodstream and into your cells. Okay, so we're not going to need as much insulin to make this happen because we're actually using the glucose. So the result of this is lower blood sugar, less inflammation, less fat storage. Okay, and it's also going to help to regulate your nervous system before bed. We're not talking this like major walk, getting, brisk, getting your cortisol levels high. Just a nice 10-minute walk. Okay, I tell my clients all the time, this is one of the simplest, free, hormone-safe tools that you can start literally tonight. Okay, number 3, if you are under stress in this season, I don't want you skipping meals. Okay, I'm a big believer in fasting, but it has to be rhythmic. It needs to be hormone aware and aligned with your cycle and or your season that you are in if you're no longer cycling. Okay, if your adrenals are already tapped, skipping meals or pushing long fasts can make things worse. Okay, fasting is a tool. It's not a magic wand. So I love teaching women how to fast with their cycle, fasting with intention, and with hormonal awareness. Okay, but when your stress is high, say your sleep is poor, your blood sugar is unstable, long fasts can make things worse. Okay, they can elevate cortisol, crash your energy mid-morning, and will probably worsen your weight loss resistance. Okay, so if you're in a high stress season, whether it's work stress, whether it's sleep deprivation, early motherhood, okay, eating regular blood sugar balanced meals is the reset that your body actually needs. Okay, and once you're more stable, that's when strategic fasting can become incredibly effective. Okay, we're going to dive deeper into this in upcoming episodes. We'll talk how to fast safely, especially for women in perimenopause and postmenopause. Okay. Number 4, I would absolutely love to see you strength train 2 to 3 times a week. Doesn't have to be every day. You don't need an hour in the gym. 20 to 30 minutes of intentional muscle building work. Okay. I'm not asking for cardio. Resistance training has more metabolic impact than hours of cardio. Okay, muscle is your metabolic engine. It's what gives you flexibility with food, better blood sugar levels, and just long-term resilience. Okay, it's not just for aesthetics. Muscle is a metabolic organ, and we must work it regularly. Okay, the more muscle you have on your body, the more glucose that you can clear out of your bloodstream. The more carbohydrates your body is able to tolerate. Okay, and the more resilient your metabolism becomes. So strength training is pro-metabolism, pro-thyroid, and pro-hormone. Okay, and again, you don't need an hour a day. Just 2 to 3 short, intentional sessions per week. Whether you could be using dumbbells at home, you could be lifting at a gym if that's what you prefer, but this can change everything. Okay, when you are in perimenopause or you are postmenopausal, muscle is one of your greatest protectors. It supports your bones, supports your metabolism, insulin sensitivity, and quite frankly, your confidence. Okay, and number 5, I want you to start tracking how you feel, and I'm not talking just the number on the scale. I want you to listen to your body, not the apps, not what your apps are telling you, not the macros, not the calorie calculator. I want you to ask yourself questions like, are my cravings becoming less intense? Is my energy more stable throughout the day? Am I falling asleep more easily at night? Am I less puffy or bloated? And it's important that we ask ourselves these questions because for some reason, it's really easy to forget how we felt as we start to feel better if we're not being intentional about asking ourselves these questions. So all of these things are going to be signs that your metabolism is healing. And listen to this, okay? These things often show up before the scale moves. So I hear so often, Oh, but I'm not losing weight yet. I'm sleeping better. That's great, but I'm not losing weight yet. I don't have the same cravings that I did before, but I'm not losing weight yet. My energy's better, but I'm not losing weight yet. The body has to heal before it's going to feel safe enough to start dropping in weight. Okay. So these are all major positives. Your metabolism is healing. The scale will be the next to start moving down. The more you learn to measure progress by internal cues and not just external metrics, the more peace you're going to have throughout this entire process. Okay. These aren't dramatic things, but they send your body a clear message. You're safe, you're supported, and you don't have to live in survival mode. Okay, let me say this plainly. If you've been eating less, moving more, and you're still not seeing results, this isn't your fault. You haven't failed. You've been following a model that was never built for your body, for your hormones, or for your season of life. So let's stop blaming willpower for what your biology is trying to protect you from. Okay, because your body isn't fighting you, it is fighting for you. And the moment you understand that, everything will change for you. Okay, God did not create you to micromanage every bite or live in fear of food. Okay, He created your body with wisdom, with feedback loops, with protective mechanisms and rhythms that are meant to be honored and not overridden. And I believe that when we start listening to our bodies the way He designed them, healing becomes possible, and not through restriction, but through strategic restoration. Because when we honor those rhythms instead of fighting them, that's when the real healing begins. Because you don't need another diet. You need a strategy that is rooted in rhythm, in restoration, and in real science. If this episode gave you a new perspective today, would you take a moment to follow the show or leave a quick review? They mean the world to me. Or send this to a friend who is maybe stuck in this calorie trap. Okay, she needs to know that there is a better way. On the next episode, we're going to dive into blood sugar stability, what it actually is, and why it matters more than calories, and how to support it without tracking grams or having to go keto full time. Okay. I'm Tanya Pennington-Miller, and this is the Nourish to Thrive podcast. That's it for today on the Nourish to Thrive podcast. If you found value here, I'd love for you to subscribe, leave a review, or send it to someone who's walking a similar path. Keep showing up, keep asking questions, and know that healing is possible, especially when you trust the one who designed your body to heal. Until next time, stay rooted in truth and nourished in grace.